We need people for the Easter presentation. Nobody's showing up to practice. Where is everybody?
We need you!
Good morning. How are you all doing today? Fantastic, I hope. Hey, did you all see the snow? Did you all see the rain? Wow. Same week. Flood, downtown, snow, front backyard. It's amazing. How has this cooperation thing been going? Why did I mention snow and the rain? Have you ever heard an older person say, this or that won't cooperate? It's kind of an old term, and it basically means that it's not going the way that they expected, or it's not going the way that it was designed. They may be trying to fix something that was broke. They say it won't cooperate, or they're trying to get some kind of app on the phone to print out a ticket. They say it won't cooperate. Or they're trying to get a little child to sit down and say he or she won't cooperate. Cooperation is something that we learn that it's not easy. Because why? Yeah, I want to do it my way, and he wants to do it his way. Or it was her turn last time. It's my turn this time. Do y'all remember the definition of cooperation? Here it is right here. Cooperation. Working together to do more than you can do alone. Cooperation. Working together to do more than you can do alone. Together, alone, less, more. It's our choice. How important is what? Your turn versus actually getting it done. How important is it to be first in the line, or everybody get to go? Cooperation really makes us look at ourselves, our own intentions. Is it about me, or is it about us being able to get things done? Is it about me getting the credit? Is it about me getting all the praise? See, cooperation really makes us all look in the mirror and see who we really are, so that we can make a change. It's not that, hey, we're set in stone. We're flesh, and we can change. So, do y'all remember what the memory verse was? Right friend there. Echo buttons. on. Two people are better than one. They can help each other in everything they do. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. Echo buttons off. Yeah. It's not just two. It could be three. It could even be four. The whole idea is this. Oh, it's tough to do things on our own. But we have help. We have someone to maybe check our work. To maybe make us think a little differently about something that we may not have understood. To be able to have someone to ask questions. And you can be that same person for the other one as well. That wisdom allows us also to be able to know God puts people in our lives to be able to help us. We have to cooperate. So cooperation, it's not just, hey, you do this, but it's the other person being willing to be able to cooperate with the other one, and the other people willing to be able to give help. And their relationship goes on and on. I may help you, you may help me, and nobody keeps score. We all do it for the glory of God, that He may be glorified, that we may say, thank God for you. I really thank God that you were able to help me. That's what He wants to do. So, this week, we got a lesson. In this lesson here, cooperation says we think, hey, we're gonna work together to help each other, or I'm gonna help you and you're gonna help me. What if you work together with somebody else to be able to help someone else in need? Parents, grown-ups, feed the homeless. You may cut someone's grass as elderly. It's so many things that you could actually do to be able to help someone in need. Don't you think that you can actually do more if you cooperate with someone else to be able to help that person in need? Yeah, because at times you kind of get tired, or even you forget why you do it. Because kids, when you do something to help somebody that gives God the glory, I'm telling you, what are you doing that for? Or why? It's always things that's going to be in your way. It's always going to be somebody telling you don't do it, why you're doing it. Now, if you want to put the extra candy in your pocket, nobody says anything. If you want to just walk out of class and disrupt the class, nobody says why you do it. When you do things right, it glorifies God. They go, why are you doing that? Or you don't have to do that, or plan on it. But guess what? Push through it. Expect it to happen, and when it happens, say, I knew you were coming. You want to help? And usually they say, no, I don't want to help. Or, well, why are you doing that? Or, don't let any of that stop you. Do what glorifies God. So I've got a story here that will encourage you. It'll kind of talk to you a little bit about the obstacles that you have when you cooperate, that God may be glorified. I've got a minute. I'll be right back.
presentation. Nobody's showing up to practice. Where is everybody?
We need you!
Glad to have y'all back. But before we get started with the lesson, have your parents ever went to the grocery store? What are the things that they always want to have with them? Yeah, money. Car keys, sure. But one other thing, that even if they had their car keys, even if they have money, they really gonna have some problems when they get to the grocery store. They'll forget something. Yeah, that's it, the list. They write stuff down that they know they're gonna need, so they don't what? That's right, so they don't forget when they get there. What if we could write verses down? What if we could maybe hide them in our heart so we don't forget them? That we do them all the time, even when it gets tough. Maybe to remind us that we can trust God no matter what. I actually do that myself. I have these like Bible verses that I just read. And no specific time of the day, I just read them. Each time they just encourage me. They give me hope. When it gets tough, when it gets bad, it may be even one that I may even want to share with one of my friends. But this one's for you all. Here it is. Check this one out. This is Psalms. What does it say? 56, verse 10 and 11. In God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid of what man could do unto me. That's pretty helpful. Imagine being able to write that down on a sheet of paper or put it in your phone. That when times get tough, or even when they're not tough, that you just read it. Maybe somebody's going through something that one of your friends in school could just tell, and they say, well, where'd you get that from? You can say, here. Look at mine. Let me show you the app. Or, here, copy mine. Yeah. So, tell you about some guys that, they didn't let challenges stop them from cooperating. It didn't stop them from getting to Jesus. So, a long time ago, Jesus was going around preaching and healing, and he got to this place called Capernaum. And, I always say all the time that there were crowds and crowds of people. It's like a football game type crowd of people. Well, everybody wanted something from Jesus. And these guys, they actually had a friend. And their friend actually couldn't walk. Not being able to walk back then, there was not like an Uber or anything like that somebody could take. There were no wheelchairs that people could take you. You actually had like this mat that people would pick you up on and carry you on, and you would sit there until somebody else could do the same thing for you. It kind of made you feel helpless. You had really no real independence. You couldn't work. You couldn't feed your family, and people not only looked down on you physically, but Emotionally, I'm sure they did. No, we don't want to look down on people because of something that somebody may think is wrong with them. We don't want to look down on a person. We want to try to what? Help them. So these friends, they knew that Jesus was there and he was preaching and he was healing. Now, it didn't really say if they flipped the coin or whatever, but the guys picked the coin of this matter and took their friend to see Jesus. Well, and taking them there, just like I said, it's kind of like this. You go into the concert and you got a ticket and you're at the back of the line and you're trying to get to the front of the line. Nobody's going to let you in front of them. So what happened? Well, it's like this. Imagine having to maybe go to the restroom really bad. And there's a line and everybody's in front of you. You're like, please let me go. Please let me go. Please let me go. Yeah. That person is looking at you like, if I let you go, then what about me? Yeah. Imagine the feeling that you have when you ask somebody that. Imagine the humility that you have to be able to ask. They must have really wanted to get their friend to Jesus. It takes that as all. To be able to help someone, a lot of times we have to humble our own self. Yeah. So, when they get there, as I said, it's like a football game. We play everywhere. And nobody's wanting to let anybody cut. So what did they do? They went home. And they just threw their hands up and said, at least we tried. No. They were there. And they said, we're not going to let anything stop us. So this is what they do. They couldn't get through the front door. They couldn't get through the back. So guess what they did? They said, let's go over the top of the roof. So back then, roofs didn't have shingles on them. They actually had like either wood or like leaves and stuff like that on top of them, branches. They moved that stuff back. And they kind of made like a loop and put the man in and lowered him down. Now inside, it was still people everywhere. So when Jesus saw the man, Jesus knew immediately, wow. He saw his friends, and wow. Everything stopped. All eyes were on what would Jesus do? Imagine you being one of the friends carrying your friend to Jesus, letting your friend down through the house, and everybody inside and outside is looking at you. Now keep in mind, remember what I said. There's gonna be people that tell you, what are you doing? Stop that. You think the people were encouraging? If that was the case, why didn't they just say, well, we'll let you in through this way? It didn't. It was like this. There was one more scoop of butter pecan ice cream. And Mr. Edward is in front of you. You think I'm going to let you go in front of me? If I want you to have it. If I cared enough about you to let you have it and let me go without, sure I would. But if not, imagine hundreds and thousands of Mr. Edward. All of them were trying to get to Jesus. So they weren't willing to let these guys cut in front of them, and they were probably saying stuff like, "What are you doing? Get him down from there, and that doesn't make sense," and saying all kinds of stuff to try to discourage them. But guess what? They didn't stop them. They probably had some kind of verse, like I read, and they were probably telling each other the same thing or something similar. Because they had to be reminded that they can trust in God no matter what. So they get Jesus, they get the man down to Jesus, and Jesus is extremely impressed by these guys' willingness, and these guys just care for their friend. Guess who was there? None other than, that's right, none other than the Pharisees. And they looked at him with this scowl. See, Jesus openly told people he was the Son of God. And the Pharisees said, "No, he's not." So Jesus tells the man, "Thy sins are forgiven." Pharisee says, "Whoa, you can't say that. Only God can forgive sins. You have no right to do that. Who do you think you are?" Jesus said, "I am." He tells the Pharisees, I know what you're saying amongst yourself." He said, "So that you know the Son of Man has power to forgive sins, I'm going to tell the man to get up and walk." And he tells the man, "Take up your bed and walk." The man immediately then stands to his feet, takes up his mat. What did everybody do? They start glorifying, praising God. The guys that cooperate with each other, they were able to help him, the man that got lowered down. The man that got lowered down had to cooperate with his friends, because he could have easily said, "Well, I don't want to go. They're going to be mean to me." And he could have easily done that. But he had to cooperate. And once they got him to Jesus, the rest was in the Master's hands. And we know we can trust God no matter what. So remember, cooperation can be with my friend. It could be someone that's new in the class. It could be with me and the person that's new in the class to help somebody else. Cooperation is all about being able to have others work together.
For the Easter presentation, nobody's showing up to practice. Where is everybody?
We